Good day, everyone. My name is Paula, 27, representing the home of my young volcano, Albay. You might hear a bit of an accent because I was born and raised in Barcelona, but don't worry, I assure you that I'm 100% Filipina. My dad is from Itolos and my mom is from Itolos. I'm a medical technician and a nurse, and I have worked in a mental health profession. And I can relate myself because I myself struggle privately. That is why I want to advocate for mental health. And also, I want to give safe places for children with special needs, because I believe that everyone with the right tools and empowerment can contribute to society so much. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
You speak Spanish fluently,
Yes.
and your advocate is mental health. Same question I asked a while ago, how come there's a lot of young people nowadays suffering from mental illness? What do you think is the main reason?
Oh, because there's so much stigma of mental health. People are not aware that actually everyone, sorry, because there's so much stigma of mental health. People are not aware that everyone can be affected by it. I myself suffered it, and it's no easy task. And there's thing that people think, oh, they're just gonna go to a psychologist or psychiatrist and they're not gonna be treated properly. But if we attack it properly, if we advocate and teach about it, and we can prevent it so much and give awareness about it, because yeah, mental health is there.
Hello.
Sorry.
Like, goddess, you look so good.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Thank you. Are you nervous?
A bit. I'm shaking right
I
now.
know.
You know, I've trained so much, but still, you can get so nervous here.
Don't worry, you're doing really well. How's your sister?
She's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great, and she talks a lot about you. And yeah, she's doing architecture by herself already, and I'm so proud of her.
You're in the Philippines.
Yeah, and actually she's waiting for me outside, so you might see her.
So once here, please give her my regards.
Of course I will. Of course.
So I want to ask you, which crown are you eyeing for?
I need to represent the Philippines internationally. So I believe what destiny and the organization brings me, I will be more than honored to represent the Philippines internationally.
Paula, it's so nice to see you here. Finally, welcome home. Welcome back to the Philippines.
I hope you're well.
I miss you, and you look so gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I was so proud of you when I saw you.
Thank you. I think like it's your time this time, but I want to ask you what's different about you this time around.
I am embracing a lot about myself. Last year, actually by the end of 2020, and you know how hard was it after our previous pageants, and I took some time for myself. I decided to work as a nurse in Spain, and that helped me not only professionally but personally. And now I'm more grounded and more determined to represent the Philippines internationally, because it's something that I really want to do. I want to bring Philippines or Filipinas, whatever it is.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Oh, sir, I have another question.
Maraming napot sa inyo, Paula.
Hi.
In the event, or should, just in case you won, Morena Hispano-Americana, Rodila, do you think speaking Spanish is important in winning?
Well, I mean, I'm flattered that everyone is already planning for Morena Hispano-Americana because I speak Spanish, and that's a plus. But I definitely don't think that it's a requirement. I think win-win is a perfect representation of that. It's about having the heart and the passion in there, and people will see it right there. And if you walk around like her, I'm sure you can get it.
Thank you so much, candidate number 26.
I am actually right now working in the marketing and PR world, but I graduated cum laude with a degree in communications at De La Salle University. I consider myself somebody who has a lot of layers. Those layers make somebody interesting, and in my case, I was inspired by my family. So I have a family of achievers, and through that I learned how to apply myself in many different things. I started working in the beauty industry, I worked as a writer, I also dabbled a little bit in e-commerce, and right now, what I'm most proud of is that I've been active in my local youth community for the last 11 years.
Hi.
Hi.
Are you related to Joey or to Crispy?
Joey is actually my father, yes.
Oh, that's why you can play basketball.
Yes.
So your sport is basketball.
My sport is basketball, yes.
Can you tell me about your beauty with a purpose?
So I've been working, as I mentioned, in my local youth community for the last 11 years. And it is a parish community, but I think it's more than just building your faith. We've been working with our members in our community, and what we do is I give leadership talks, and we, more than just, stay in church, we also do fundraisers and lead operations and fun runs, really just to build the formation of our local community.
Hello.
Hey!
You kind of remind me of maybe sometimes. Has anyone told you that?
Actually a while ago, yes. Thank you so much for such a compliment.
So I saw that, well, I also know that you competed in Miss Universe last year. What extras do people have asked you this, or going to ask you this, so please share with us what made you decide to not compete there again and to compete in Miss World Philippines instead?
Well, I think that I'm more inclined to Miss World this year because I have a love for sharing stories and for communicating. Even though sometimes it's a little bit hard for me, it's something that I want to overcome and I want to become great at and successful at. So I feel like it'd be a better fit for Miss World, and that's why I'm doing this year.
And my next question is, what makes you stand out from all the other contestants outside?
I think that what really makes me stand out is my story. There's so many things that I've done in my life and so many things that I really want to achieve still. And, through having a family of achievers and through working in all these different industries and, being on ground and being behind the computer and in front of the lens, that kind of experience really brought me here to this situation. And I just want to try my best here.
I'm also a model and a speaker for my personal campaign online. It's called #BePurpose.
Alright, here's some questions from our Hello, Ivanna.
Hi, it's so nice to see you again.
So nice to see you too. I just wanted to ask, why Miss World? Finally.
Yeah, I'm so grateful to be back. Actually, Miss World Philippines is my very first national pageant when I was only 19 years old. And so I'm really grateful to be back. And at that time, again, I was only 19, it's been 6 years. And just seeing the logo of Miss World Philippines today all over the venue is just so nostalgic. And I'm grateful to be back here now with a purpose, because when I joined this when I was a lot younger, I was fresh out of college, and people were all saying that, hey, you should join a national pageant because you're not studying anymore, you have less responsibilities. So it wasn't really something that I wanted for myself. And so I told myself that if I would go back again at the stage of Miss World Philippines, I want to be able to have a sense of purpose, which is the very core values of Miss World Philippines. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Paula. Thank you.
You're a content writer for a social media platform.
I used to, yes. Before I have my job now as a full-time host, I also work in the corporate industry. I was a writer and also a digital marketing specialist.
Wow, that always keeps the imagination going, right?
Definitely.
What is your opinion on cancel
culture? Well, cancel culture is really a main topic or discussion, not just online, but also in our community. And I feel like it's also because most of us, not just the youth today, but also people from different walks of life, have exposed themselves on social media, and they're very much, well, like we call them woke, you know, like we're all woke because of what's going on in our society. But I feel like sometimes cancel culture can be very harsh. It can also take a toll on the mental health of a specific person or a specific group of people that the society is attacking. But I feel like at the end of the day, we all have the chances to change our minds, and I feel like that's the purpose of being in society or being a healthy community, to not just cancel people, but give them encouragement or like just give them that sense of hope. And I feel like that is something that we should all have in our hearts. Thank you, Ivana.
Hi, Ivana. You look
Hi,
very beautiful, by the
Thank
way.
you so much.
You're a great speaker. So, the first time I received this question, I was 21 years old, and I was having a quarter-life crisis, so I couldn't answer it very well. So I want to know, if you had to write a book about your life, what would the title be?
I love that. So like what I mentioned in my introduction, I have a personal campaign online. It's called hashtag Pain to Purpose. And that would be the very title that I would entitle my book if ever I get to publish it. And Pain to Purpose is because I want to show to everyone that you can turn your pain, your personal struggles into purpose, something that you can share to other people. And it was rooted because back in 2017, I was diagnosed with a severe level of anxiety, and it took me a while to undergo healing, overcoming, and at that time I thought it's the end of my life. It gave me a lot of negative thoughts, tempted me to take my life away because I thought that having a mental illness is something that I need to just live with for the rest of my life. But I didn't know that that very pain, the very dark phase of my life, as I always call it, is now something that I get to do as a purpose. Now I get to share that to the youth when I get invited to different universities to share my testimony. And I never thought that that would happen. The 2017 Nevada would never think that one day she will tell her story about overcoming a mental illness. And so if I got healed from that, then so does anyone who's currently battling with mental illness. Thank you.
Thank you. You answered the question like I did.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, candidate number 17.
I'm so pleased to finally be in front of you all to share my story. I am Simone Ivanna. I'm 19 years old. I'm representing Marindugan. I've actually joined a lot of pageants in the past. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm a really big fan of you. I would remember for sure. I'm a daughter of 2 gay men, which is why I'm a strong advocate of LGBTQIA+ rights. Also because we experienced discrimination firsthand. When I was in grade school, I was applying to this school, which I wouldn't really mention what that name of the school was. But they rejected me because of my family setup. They were an international Catholic school, and they were the most well-known for that. And they just didn't want that in their reputation. And so they rejected me and my family. And that's why, and you know, my parents, I don't think my parents deserved that. You know, they felt so much shame thinking that their daughter wasn't granted acceptance in the school because of them. And I don't think that was fair. And that's why, although here in the Philippines, the LGBTQIA+ community is starting to get slowly accepted by the community. Still, we cannot, of course, we cannot argue that there are still people who still remain to be concerned with ideology that a man and a woman should belong together and nothing should be in between. And so that's why I stand in front of all of you, because I want to share my story, because I think it can inspire and change a lot of people's idea on this certain topic. And of course, I am also a first-year college student in the DeSalle University. I'm majoring in medical biology. Yes, I'm in a medically inclined family, so I'm basically forced to continue the medical business.
Simone, I love your outfit. I love your story. I love your school as well as
Thank you so much.
There's a lot of lessons today. I'm very proud. So I really like your story because my uncle and his partner recently just had twins, a boy and a girl. They're serving babies, and I'm a new mom actually myself, and my son have the same birthday, August 25th. So I feel a connection with you, girl. But so I'm kind of curious with the twins, my cousins actually, and how they're going to grow up. So it's so nice to hear someone like you who's in the same situation more or less. I'm very excited to get to know you, and yeah, so I'll ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a really good question. Growing up in your setting, what is the best thing you learned from your parents, and why?
I think the best thing that I ever learned from my parents, although it's not really related to their sexuality, is how hardworking you have to be to improve in life. Because I live it. I live a pretty comfortable life right now, but it wasn't really like this before. We experienced jumping from business to business. We experienced going from carinderia to computer shop, and now we have our own clinic, and we actually have a branch in Centuria, Medical City, which is near Gramercy. And so you can really see how we built ourselves up from there. And before it didn't seem possible. I actually experienced hearing my parents' friends, mocking them, saying that masyado silang ambitious for wanting these things. And really, there's nothing wrong with that. There's really nothing wrong with being ambitious and going for what you want. Because here we are.
Is there a moment that you have a chance to meet your biological parents?
Actually, I guess that's a common mistake that people would start thinking of whenever I say that I grew up with two gay men. Actually, I'm currently living with my biological father and my mother. I occasionally meet her whenever she comes home from Dubai. So I'm not really having any difficulties in terms of having my parents with me.
Thank you, candidate number 15.
Thank you so much.
Hello, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I am Justine Beatriz Zarza. You can call me Bea for short. I am 28 years old and I am representing the shoe capital of the Philippines, Marikina City. I have lived the best of both worlds growing up, living here in the Philippines and also being raised in Canada with 3 of my amazing siblings. Music has always been my connection to my Filipino roots and a passion of mine ever since. As a profession, I am a medical esthetician and as director of communications for a health company called Beyond Testing. In the Philippines, I am a volunteer for an advocacy group called Center for Migrant Advocacy, which provides aid for OFWs and their families. Bringing out the best in others is what I strive to do always, which makes these jobs so fulfilling and I look forward to continuing these efforts with Miss World Philippines. Thank you.
Alright, we now hear from Arjun. Hi, Leah.
Hi.
Okay, so you lived in Vancouver.
Yes.
How long did you live there for?
I moved to Vancouver when I was 7 years old, and then pretty much from 7 up until now, we would always travel back and forth to see family, of course, and to do vacations here as well.
So you can speak fluent Tagalog.
Yes, pwede akong mag-Tagalog kung kaya.
Okay, perfect. So what crown is it specifically you're looking at? And why?
It's such a hard question. Of course, any crown would be such a great honor and responsibility just to represent the Philippines to be a dream of mine. If I had to choose though, I would choose Miss Supranational because Poland has been one of the places that I want to visit for sure, and I like what they stand for. Yes, I have it honestly. And of course, to represent the Philippines on that international stage is such an honor.
And then my last question, aside from Dindy and aside from Megan Young, who was your favorite, either Miss World Philippines or Miss Super Philippines?
That's a hard question. I idolize all of you. You know, I came to the Philippines because I look up to so many beauty queens, like the remarkable woman in front of me, and you guys are the reason why I'm here today, inspiring me to become better, and hopefully I can shape communities the way you do with your reign and even after your reign. So there is not a specific queen I like because each and every one of you are so unique, and it has embodied in me in some way as well every time I watch you guys.
Thank you. We have another question.
Hi, I want to just compliment your outfit. This is a great choice what you picked. You look stunning. So you grew up in Canada, correct?
Yes.
So how can you be relatable to the Filipino community since you grew up abroad?
Well, as a child of overseas Filipino worker parents, when I went abroad, I saw other OFW parents as well. And the thing about me is that I was lucky enough because I was actually able to go with my parents, whereas most OFWs have to leave their children behind. And my advocacy here is to hopefully share the story that you can still achieve your dreams even if your parents are away and if you have that role model that you're still trying to look up to, that you can still connect to so many people, Filipino people all over the world, not just physically, but now because we have technology, you can also do it online. So I think it's a very great platform for that as well.
I have one last too, because I grew up in the States, and my comments all the time were, "You're not Pinay enough," whenever I would go to beauty pageants. Do you think, what are your thoughts on that? Does growing up abroad make you any less Filipina?
No, because when I was growing up abroad, I think that I actually rediscovered my roots more because I grew up in such a diverse culture. So every time someone would ask me what is my nationality, I would automatically say, I'm so proud to be a Filipino. And I would tell them the beautiful places here, the food that they have to try, and automatically they warm up to me because they know other Filipinos who are so hospitable, and they know somebody who's a Filipino that they are friends with and that they just want to visit the place. So I feel more Filipino abroad.
Hi, Justine. You work as a medical esthetician. Yes. Do you think plastic surgery is doing more harm or good to women in beauty pageants?
As someone in that profession, I always think that it's your choice whether to do plastic surgery or not. If it will enhance your self-esteem and confidence, then why not? But don't do it to a point where you're not happy with yourself anymore and you're just doing it because you want to please others. And first and foremost, everything has to start from the inside out because no matter how beautiful you are, even if you're the most beautiful in the world, some people are still insecure inside, so you have to work more on the inside than the outside.
Thank you so much.